Today we're going to watch a video called Picking Up Girls at a Healthy Living Expo. And I think this is a great example of why being smooth is not just about what you say. It's really about the vibe, the way you carry yourself. And this will really help you see what it looks like to be that grounded guy who has a naturally masculine energy that women just feel magnetically attracted to. So let's check it out.
7, 2 for, what are you? Vaporizer.
It's an e-cigarette. It's a healthy alternative to the real thing.
That is garbage.
Just as cool, but without the cancer. You are such a cynic. Excuse me. Girl with the blonde hair. Truth is, I came to the show to pick up some wild mushrooms.
All right, so did he say something funny? No. But you can tell she's instantly reacting with attraction. And look, this guy, he's not a stereotypical Chad. He's bald. He's not the best looking guy. So you can't say it's because he's a Chad. That's why this gorgeous woman who just has a great energy, why she's so receptive. It's because of Black Pill. No. It's because look at the way he carries himself. Look at the steady eye contact. Look at the groundedness. Look at how he just is unreactive. He's not trying too hard, but he has strong intent. He has a strong energy that she's getting sucked into automatically. And that makes her laugh. Like, she feels tension in a good way. And she's like, ha ha ha. He didn't say anything funny whatsoever, but he immediately got her, not only her attention, but her attraction.
But I figured I could maybe pick you up as well.
That's a really good line. Wow.
Yeah, are you also wild? May I have to tame you?
I don't know. Have to wait and see.
I guess it's true. Only one way to find out. Actually, here, I've got some kombucha for you. Try it out.
What is it?
Apparently it contains this exotic African spice that'll take your libido to the next level.
Libido.
Cheers to libido.
You know, my libido's pretty good.
That was a great example of a smooth way to make a conversation more sexual. Because this is one of the big things when it comes to pickup. Guys are like, how do I make it sexual? How do I verbally escalate? The problem is, if you do it in a way that is too pushy, that is too obvious, it can kind of create this pressure, this feeling of, I need her to let it be sexual, right? I need it to be sexual. And that doesn't really work. The better way to do it is with some kind of role play, some kind of humor, some kind of joke, and then it is making it sexual, but it's not serious. It's playful, and then girls are way more likely to go along with that.
I'm not actually a salesman for these mattresses.
No?
I was just hanging out waiting for my friend.
Oh yeah?
But they say that these mattresses are actually very conducive for spooning. I couldn't be sure, so I needed some female to help me test it out.
Yeah,
if you want to volunteer. My name is Vadim.
Do we go forward or backwards?
Can go anywhere.
You gotta tune in.
I am tuning in.
You honestly don't work for this
What's your name? No.
You're lying.
No, I don't. It's Vadim. Nice to meet you. I like your earrings.
Thank you.
And you have very creamy hands.
Now my hands are sweating.
Why are you nervous? Is it because I'm wearing a collared shirt? You look like you have very healthy glutes. Yes.
What?
You must do a lot of squats.
No, I want to get certified.
Okay, I'll be honest with you. The quickest way to my heart are some gluten-free brownies. If you're wondering, these bars, I don't know if they'll do.
I have a boyfriend, so I'm sorry.
Do you? Is it really serious?
Is it really serious?
I mean, I try to eat organic, although I'm not a fan of girls that are all natural down there. So, if that's the case, this isn't gonna fly. 6. Yeah.
921.
921. I'll shoot you a witty text, and then we could get our kumbaya on.
Okay.
Kumbaya. Is this your daughter? I think she was absolutely adorable, so I had to come over here and say hello.
So 2 things here. One is guys tend to get intimidated when there's a mom and daughter. But the thing is, if you think about it, the mother probably hasn't been hit on much at all. And she kind of, on some level, misses that. And if you hit on her daughter in front of her, it's like by proxy, you're hitting on her genes, right? You're kind of hitting on her, and it's giving her that thrill to a certain extent that she would have gotten by being hit on herself. So it actually tends to be very easy. Now, with that said, this is a pretty intimidating situation, right? There's several people, they're all staring at him. It's a lot of pressure. But the fact that he's willing to lean into that pressure, the fact that he's willing to do that approach shows that this guy is not like other guys. Like this guy, either he's a psychopath, right? If he comes across that way, they might be, nervous around him. But either he's a psychopath or this guy has massive balls. He's extremely confident. He knows what he wants and he goes for it. And that creates something that is known as passive attraction. The fact that he's even doing that approach makes him more attractive. I remember one time at my university, I saw this girl who was surrounded by 6 or 7 guys at a small table, right? At just a little circular table. And there's 6 guys, and I think, man, she's really fucking cute. But that is the most awkward scenario. But I remembered, wait, passive attraction. I remembered I watched a video about that. So I said, you know what? Screw it. At the very least, it'll build balls, right? At the very least, it'll make approaching normal interactions, right, normal scenarios, seem 1,000 times easier. It'll build me confidence. So what do I have to lose? I end up doing it, and I just go in direct. I tell her that I find her very attractive. And the guys start trying to tool me a little bit. They start trying to make fun of me or whatever. They say, why don't you hit on me? Like, don't you think I'm cute too? But the fact is, they're kind of being reactive to the scenario, which only makes me more attractive, right? I don't really bite. If I got reactive and started being defensive, that would have been bad. But I just continue the interaction like they don't really exist almost. And what ends up happening is I dated that girl for a couple months. And it was an extremely awkward scenario where you would think, your chance of success is lower than normal, lower than just a girl walking by herself. But in some cases, it's actually higher than normal. And just by doing those approaches, you're going to build so much confidence. You're going to get so much out of it that it's worth doing. Now, obviously, if you see a couple, they're holding hands and you approach, don't expect it to go anywhere. But sometimes the most intimidating situations will actually get you the best results.
And I mean, if this is what I have to look forward to in 20 years, then I better get to know her. I've thought about it, and people are just wasting far too much electricity. If we only resorted to body heat instead, then, we'd be saving the planet.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Are you single?
No, I'm not.
That's going to make it a little bit inconvenient for us. How are we going to cope with that?
Being unreactive is attractive. Groundedness is attractive, right? She's not single. That's a rejection. And a lot of guys would get a little upset about that or just, start acting different, right? Their demeanor would change. His doesn't. He's completely unreactive. And you can sense, maybe he doesn't get that girl. Hopefully she doesn't cheat on her boyfriend. But you can sense that her attraction is going up, right? Her interest in him is going up because he's not taking it seriously. He's not getting reactive.
And sure, you could spend hundreds of dollars on this pseudoscience posing as alternative medicine, or you can just go out with me. I could be your 6'1" cure to all your problems. All right, I'm surrendering. I'm surrendering to you. You and I could be a dynamic duo, we could be the whole that's greater than the parts. I could be the yin to your yang.
What's your zodiac sign?
My zodiac sign?
Yeah.
What's your number?
You could tell he's like, oh my God, really? Really? Really?
4-1.
Yeah?
9-1.
I just hope you're not the kind of girl that'll get her fix and then just dispose of me afterwards, Recycle instead. Introduce me to your cute friends.
So that's a great example of creating value subtly, because what he's saying is that he's used to women wanting to have sex with him, wanting to sleep with him, and then, they got their fix, they got their carnal desires out of the way, and then they go back to their lives. So he's creating that frame that he's that guy, right? He's the guy that you want to have a one-night stand with, that other women have one-night stands with, but he's doing it in a very subtle way that doesn't sound like bragging. It doesn't sound like, oh, look at my Rolex. It's very subtle, it's fun, and that makes it very attractive.
Look how comfortable I am.
Yeah.
All you gotta do is just lie here beside me. I spoon very well. Look, all jokes aside, are we carpooling home to save the environment or what?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Take me away to a higher place. We'll go for tea, you know, talk about essential oils. Maybe apply some. And then at that point, who knows what's going to happen, you know? At that point, it's up to the spirits. I got this new lip balm, and it's supposed to be all natural, made from pomegranate oil and beeswax. It hydrates, nourishes.
So at the beginning of the video, I mentioned how this is a great example of the power of nonverbal communication, of your vibe, of eye contact, vocal tonality, all those kinds of things. And that's true, but it is also a very good example of verbal game, of how to make things sexual without being creepy, without being aggressive, in a way that women can relate to, in a way that women can latch onto, and to create a lot of sexual tension in a way that feels like it just happened, which is kind of women's fantasy, is they don't want it to feel like it was this logical, planned, you know, thing with intention, that it happened. The conversation it went towards sex. It was very organic. It was very natural. And when you're able to make that happen, you can get away with things that other men couldn't even dream of.
And replenishes. You want to try some?
I'm good.
You sure?
Like a cheeseburger.
What did she say?
So that was a great video. I hope you enjoyed this breakdown. I'll link on his Signals channel below. Sadly, he doesn't post on YouTube much anymore. I wish he did, because he's one of the handful of dating coaches that I consider to be legit. Now, with that said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the bell button. And if you want to see my own infield, I'll have a link in the end screen. And if you want to see complete polls all the way from approaching girls to taking them home and explaining exactly how I did that every step of the way, breaking down the entire process so you can replicate that in your own life, then you can click the link below to get a copy of my online course, God Mode, which has over 5 hours of hidden camera infield breakdowns.